Hello, hello, hello. Hope your day's going okay. Let's see. Looks like I have some comments already. Let's check on those. Daniel Barry is here with the beer. Plasma is here with tea. Mike is here. Welcome, welcome, you guys. I'm gonna check the news and see if I think I might have a few tweets to share, and then I thought I'd take today to revisit the community guidelines and kind of my vision for this channel and this community. There were a couple of issues that came up yesterday, so I think it's good to just take a fresh look at all of that. Hello, Helena. How are you? All right, let's check in on the world. What did I miss? I work all day now, so I really don't have any idea of what's going on until I get home and turn on the stream, really. I don't even check when I get home. U.S. Ukraine agreed to terms of critical mineral deal. Okay. Budget struggles. Elon. Trump. What's this gold card visa program for wealthy investors? Yeah, just more of the same. I don't see anything that stands out to me. Okay, well, that's the news. Oh, was it? It's hard for me to tell. I've done so many of these. It's hard for me to tell which ones stand out and which ones. It's I've been on so many journeys. It's hard to tell which ones are new journeys, like new territory, and which ones are journeys we've already taken with other people or other topics. Well, we'll take another journey today into the community guidelines. Was it? It was unexpected. I don't know if it was any crazier than some of the other streams we've had. Well, y'all let me know what was crazy about it. There were several. It had like two or three acts to it. I don't remember just one single thread. It seemed like there was a lot happening yesterday. All right, let me check on tweets. I do have one from Colin Wright on Section J. It's rather long. I might save it for its own topic. Oh, did y'all see this? Hang on. This is an AI robot. Yeah, I'll share this video. Watch this, y'all. This is a robot controlled by AI. And it was in Japan, I think. Look at that thing. They had to pull it back. The guy had to cut. He was attacking the crowd. What do they have on it? Why, if that's an AI robot, why are you dressing it like that? Don't you want to feature it as this new attractive technology? Why would you put it in that ugly vest? Hang on, let's see this again. How do I do this? Look, it like tried to headbutt. Does it even have arms? Yes, it has arms. But it tried to use its head, it looked like. And he just calmly pulls it back. If you can't keep y'all's robots under control, y'all cannot unleash them on the world just yet. Yeah, right. Jeff, I don't want no sugar. I do not want a sugar daddy at all. A daddy, but not a sugar daddy. I want to take care of myself. I don't like being taken care of. I like being independent, and I like to contribute and pull my share and pay taxes. All right, let me see. I think that's all the tweets I have. Put it this way: if it's not all the tweets I have, there's not going to be another one that tops that. Yeah, I have a few long tweets. I might save them for topics. I think today I'll just get to the community guidelines and then post the link and open up the panel. All right, here's a copy of the guidelines. I posted those a while back. Somebody needs to, Mike. Did you see? I can't. I'm not even a fashion gay. I'm horrible. I have to get other gays to help me shop and dress me and style me because I don't even know fashion. Hey Bex, what's up? So for me to notice, it's got to be very obvious. So these guidelines, in fact, I think Bex was part of it. These guidelines emerged. I'll tell you what happened. A while back, you might remember, Joe and I did it was three back-to-back streams. Some of them were Joe, some of them were me. I think Bex came on for one of them. And it was all about trust, commitment, this YouTube medium and universe. And I fed all three of those transcripts into the AI, and I asked it to help break it down and like pull out some the significant points and help me organize some community guidelines around it. So these guidelines came out directly out of conversations that we have had on this stream about trust, commitment, community, etc. So I just want to review them today and go from there. You can help me with clothes. Yeah, I did. All three streams. I fed it all three, and these were like some of them were like 3 or 4 hour streams. And I said these are the discussions we've been having about trust and commitment, and it knows me because it learned about me as I interact with it. So it already knows about the community I'm building and what I'm trying to do with it. And I said, can you, in the context of the community I'm trying to build, can you create some guidelines from this that would help us to be clear about our values and kind of all be aligned on the same page? And this is what it spit out. Hey Ninja, welcome. I'll just hit them briefly. I think there's 5 of them. So the first one is about respecting the community's integrity and vision. My vision is four or five-fold. First and foremost, it is a space. It's a third space. I've did some streams on the third space concept before, and you can Google third place on Wikipedia. It gives you the characteristics of a third place. So this is a third place. It's home is a first place, work is a second place. The third place is a place that you socialize outside of home, outside of work, where you can come and meet other people. And this is specifically a place where people can come and be themselves. And it's a conversation space. It's a space where people can come and have the conversations that they want to have without getting policed or shut down or that kind of stuff. Because I notice that happens a lot on social media where people try to micromanage conversations. And I want this to be a place. My very first online community that I built during COVID was called the Back Porch, because one of the members said that it was like hanging out on somebody's back porch, just chatting. And I said, that is perfect. That is the exact feeling I was going for. That is the vibe that I'm trying to set. And so I want the conversations that happen where you can just come and relax and hang out and be yourself. The second part of it is a support. It's a mental health channel. I'm a peer counselor. It's a support space, a support network. It's intended for people when they need to talk, when they need to get stuff off their chest, when they're having a bad day, when they're having a small crisis. If it's a big crisis, I might bump you to the appropriate resources. But they can come and talk, vent, unload, unleash, whatever's going to help, get whatever kind of support they need for what they're struggling with in the moment. So I do make room for that, and this is intended as a space that also provides support to people when they need it, and many people have used it for that in the past. It is also a community building space because we are misfits, we're nerds, we're spurgs, where people that might not fit in other groups are on the margins of those groups. So it's a space where people can come and meet other people more or less similar to themselves. I've seen many connections made on this channel. So I want to keep it a space where people can come and meet a certain type of person that they might not find a lot of in other places. So those are the main 3 or 4 points of the vision. So number one is respecting that vision and the community integrity. Um, I am here to build something lasting, something long term. I've been doing this. It'll be 2 years in April, so we're coming up on 2 years. And I had a channel before this, and I was doing Zoom communities um, outside of the YouTube stuff as well. So I've been doing this for the last 5 years, trying to build these kind of communities for just a very specific type of person that it's hard to find community for. Um, I want to be here in 5 years. I want to be here in 10 years. I want this space because I need a space like this for myself, for my own mental health. I want to provide it for other people that find it beneficial for their mental health or their emotional well being or just socialize, meet other people, etc. Um, it exists for those who value trust, respect, and meaningful connections. Actions or associations that undermine these values, including harassment, disrespect, or enabling those who work against our community goals, will not be tolerated. Our mission requires respect for each other and for the community as a whole. Respect for me is a very specific emotion, and I know when I'm feeling it, and I know when I'm not feeling it. And for the most part, outside of the few trolls that we get here now and then, I definitely feel that emotion for everybody that shows up here and participates in this channel. Otherwise, I would let you know. I'm pretty vocal about that kind of stuff. What this means in practical terms, if you're here participating, either in the chat or on panel, I'm going to assume that you consent to be part of this vision that I just expressed, and that you're okay with these guidelines and you're here to help build what I'm trying to build. Um, it means respect my goals, respect my mission, and help make sure what you do here enhances that and doesn't try to work against it or make it harder for me to do what I'm trying to do here. While we welcome differing opinions, associations or actions that disrupt that purpose or threaten the well-being of community members have no place here. Honestly, we really haven't had a problem with this for a while. At one point, there was a bunch of drama trolls that were coming here and attacking specific people and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what this guideline was built around. Um, just keep that in mind. Not been a real issue. Embrace realness and set boundaries with intent. I think this one is worth looking at closely. Authenticity is a core value. Also, transparency. I say over and over again, transparency creates trust. I try to be as transparent as possible. It helps when people are transparent with me because then it allows me to build the trust that I'm trying to build with them to keep the relationship going, but the community is built from individual relationships. So every relationship that I can keep going because it has a foundation of trust helps keep the larger community going. This is a place for directness, not policing. If somebody's actions or words overstep your boundaries, address it openly. Our goal is to foster a space where we can show up as ourselves without feeling the need to play it safe or self-censor. I want people to be able to talk here and express themselves and not have to worry about tiptoeing around hot button topics or people pleasing or um, walking on eggshells. And this kind of came up yesterday around the topic of advice. I consider advice to be included in all of this. I don't think there's anything wrong with people offering general suggestions. That's all advice is to me. It's an opinion. It's a suggestion. It's not a command. It's not a demand. I think some people personalize advice and experience it as being told what to do, and then so that's gonna. I don't want that to make people self-conscious about expressing themselves about topics. If they have something useful that they want to offer about the topic, and then someone tries to say, "Well, I don't want advice, therefore I don't want you talk. I don't want to hear that. I don't want you talking about that." If that's a boundary for you, set it for yourself, but don't set it for me and other people in the community. And setting it for yourself either means tolerating it and don't give advice yourself if that's not one of your values, or avoiding the people that give you advice. Like, it's fine to leave the panel or take yourself out of the community. Like, setting a boundary in that sense is removing yourself from the situation when the boundary is crossed. But it's not trying to control other people to keep them within a boundary that is a personal boundary for you. What it means is share openly, but understand the importance of mutual respect. Critique or challenge others with the intent to uplift, not diminish. If boundaries are crossed, address it constructively and with respect. That's one thing that I was trying to do yesterday. I think some people were trying to do it, and it got taken a different way by some other people. And I don't think I did anything wrong. I don't think I did anything. I don't think I did not do anything I regret. I don't think I did anything that's inconsistent with how I've done things here from the start, which is open, honest conversation about issues. I'm not avoidant. I'm confrontational. If there's an issue, I want to get to the bottom of it and deal with it. And so I'm going to push it and push through it. And that's what I was trying to do yesterday, because it seemed like some of this stuff was an issue, and I wasn't really even aware that it was, and I was trying to understand why. Um, so I was trying to do this yesterday. Support fair play and mutual respect in all interactions. This one really hasn't shown up in a while. It really came out of some issues we had when we were doing gaming in the Discord and on Steam. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this one. But we push each other to grow here, and that includes the ways we engage in gaming debates or group discussions, respect each other's unique strengths and limitations. Um, don't tease people for something that they don't have control over or that's one of their shortcomings or limitations. Tone policing, conversation policing, emotion policing, punching down for fun, etc. I'm very sensitive to micromanagement. I don't like when other people try to control my expression, including my emotional expression, and I don't like seeing it done to others, whether it's people on the panel or done to the chat. And so I tend to jump in at those moments when I see it and try to minimize it and keep it off of this channel as much as possible. Take each other seriously as adults. This has to do with the infantilization of neurodivergent people. In this community, it's assumed that everybody's an adult. I say that all the time. These are grown adults. They can work it out for themselves. They don't need babysitting, etc. They're capable of making their own choices. I assume they can handle challenges. We do not infantilize each other. And Barney, if you're out there, this is for you, because I could tell from your conversation last night you did not read these guidelines. We are not here to hold each other accountable. It specifically says that in the guidelines, explicitly. So you had a complaint yesterday that I don't hold people accountable, and one of the things you didn't like about my channel was that we don't hold each other accountable. Well, that's on purpose. That's built in to what I'm trying to do with this channel. So now that you have that information, you can decide how much you want to waste your time on a channel that explicitly does not hold each other accountable. We're not here to coddle anyone or assume a need for special handling. We respect each other's autonomy and recognize each other's contributions. For me, that's an ability to make choice. I respect people's. I respect the choices that people make, And I think with the advice topic yesterday, I kept saying if you don't want advice, that's fine, but don't try to stop other people from giving, or don't tell other people how they can talk. If like your personal boundary stops with you, around advice stops with you. And so if advice is not your thing, you can express that. The people don't have to stop giving it. Um, and if it gets to be too much, you can take yourself out of it. So I guess exercise your own autonomy and agency when it comes to. Remember, this is an unsafe space. When it comes to being like exposing yourself to things that you don't want to expose yourself to, manage your own experience here instead of expecting other people to manage it for you by controlling what they say or do to meet your standards or expectations. Just do it from your end, internal locus of control instead of external. What this means, support each other without assuming that anyone needs extra handling. Treat each other's ideas, talents, and boundaries as valuable and worthy of genuine respect. And I do believe respect is earned. Like you can't fake respect. If you genuinely don't respect or value somebody's talent or contribution, it's hard to fake that. But I guess just be honest about it, so they'll have that information. And number 5 is commit to the values of trust, respect, and authenticity. Building a strong community of misfits depends on trust. If you're here, you're committing to a space where trust and respect are paramount. We're not just a gathering of individuals, or at least I'm trying to be more than just a gathering of individuals. We're here to build something that matters. Choose your actions and your associations with integrity. What this means, if you're invested in the space, support those around you and stay aligned with the vision we're building. If others are actively working against the integrity of this community, recognize that supporting them threatens everything we stand for. That's kind of dramatic. That has to do with some of the people that were trying, some of the other channels and individuals in YouTube and some of the trolls were trying to actively undermine and disrupt the channel at one point, and there were some people from this community that were friends with them and they were supporting them and their work at the same time trying to be part of this community and support this, and the two were working at cross purposes to each other. So that's what this has to do with. I haven't really seen it be an issue lately. And a final note, this community is not about safetyism or avoiding conflict. This is not a polite space. This is not a civil space. This is not a space with where we honor decorum or middle class bougie values around how you have conversation and manage conflict. We do it the outliers way. We do it the raw way. We do it the misfit way. We embrace our edges and our differences, but with the goal of building each other up, not tearing each other down. Each of us is here to make the space meaningful, and that means showing up with honesty, respect, and a commitment to the values that make the community what it is. And thank you for doing that. And I guess we go forward from here. Let me check. I'll look at comments and then I will. I'm still interested in this clothing help that you can, because I definitely could. I need all the clothing. I have a gay. Actually, he's a fashion designer, and I updated my wardrobe a few years ago, and he helped me coordinate that one. So a lot of the clothes you see were kind of not put together, but approved. I picked them out. Yeah, I would say a strip club is a third space. In fact, it wouldn't hurt to go over the characteristics of a third place. It's I never can remember the guy's name. Ray Oldenburg. He's the one that came up with it. Um, it's open and inviting. You don't need an invitation or appointment, and you can come and go as you please. The important thing about a third place is it's voluntary. You have no obligation to be there. You are there because you want to be there. You choose to be there. You get something out of it, and you can leave when you want. You can show up when you want. It's comfortable and informal. You feel like you belong there. It's kind of like your Cheers. Your little bar where everybody knows your name. It's convenient. That has to do with physical location. So hopefully it's convenient enough because it's on YouTube. Unpretentious. Everyone is on the same level. There's nothing fancy or fragile. There's no like class hierarchy. Everybody here is an individual, is treated like an individual, and all the power differentials that might come into play in your real life, don't bring any of that here because I see everybody is more or less on the same level here. We're all in this. It's a flat space. We're all in this together on the same level. There are regulars. There's a little core group that kind of keep the space going, and it rotates. I've noticed over the years, but there's more or less regulars that keep it stabilized and keep showing up. They set the tone. They set the vibe for it. Um, Conversation is the main activity. Discussion, debate, and gossip are part of the mix. And laughter is frequent. The mood is lighthearted and playful. Joking and witty banter are encouraged. That's straight out of Wikipedia, which it looks like took them from The Great Good Place book by Ray Oldenburg, who created the concept of the third place. All right, let's see. Bring your, oh, I would love it if I could. I can make a gumbo. I would love it if I had all you in person to share it with. I've been told that before. Oh, thank you, Devil. That and Apocalypse too. That does mean a lot because sometimes when these little dust ups happen, um, I can sometimes have my doubts and start to question. Mm. Thank you, Mike. Oh, something cool. Well, I'm a Christian Satanist too. All right, let's see. Kitty, and the way I encountered it on here is it shows up as a topic like dating. Somebody will mention their dating life, and then the chat will start throwing out just general dating suggestions in general. Um, and so it's not one-on-one advice. One-on-one advice, unless I'm one of the people involved, I shouldn't even be involved in if it's one-on-one. I don't know what private conversations people are having. And if you're talking one-on-one with somebody and they're giving you advice, that's between you and them. Just work it out then. But I'm talking about when people are offering advice as part of a general discussion on a topic and it's taken in a personal way, and then people like someone tries to start to manage the conversation to keep advice from being offered. And this happened a few weeks ago in the chat where somebody was talking about their dating experience and it spun off into a topic about dating in general, and several people in the chat started throwing out suggestions and some of their own experiences, and the person had a kind of negative reaction to that and saw it as offering advice and didn't want the chat to continue to say what they were saying about this topic. And I saw it as not necessarily directed at that person, but just directed at the audience in general for anybody that was reading or watching that might find it useful. And I don't like it when people try to control the conversation on my channel. So if they were taking it a certain way, they need to manage that internally or even physically by removing themselves from the panel. But don't try to make out like the chat was doing something bad or wrong just because you didn't want to hear personal advice when you're the one that brought the topic up in the first place. So that's just one example of how it's shown up on here. And honestly, it doesn't even come up that often. That's why I was caught by surprise last night. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully bringing each other up. For the most part, I think I really don't see a lot of people here trying to genuinely tear each other down. I think most people that come here want to see everybody else here be successful, achieve their goals. Every now and then you might get two people that don't get along that might go at each other. And I'm also learning which people to have on panel at the same time. Some people I just can't have on panel at the same time, and that seems to solve those few situations. Um, I think that could be true for other spaces, but for the most part in this one, I haven't seen much of that. I think for the most part, the people that come here can be trusted to support and encourage the other people that come here. Now you have your trolls now and then. A lot of it's playful. A lot of it is in jest. But we pick and tease and stuff like that. I've seen stuff like that, but I don't think anyone is legitimately trying to hurt someone or see some like wants to see someone fail or suffer or be taken down or destroyed in any kind of negative way. I know there are trolls on YouTube, believe me, I know, that get off on that. I just think there's a lot less of them here because I've put a lot of effort into try to keep them away from here and making sure that they don't that this is not an attractive place for them to be. Well, Kitty, that is a good scenario. So, what would you do there if I continued? Like, what would the consequence? Would you just walk away? Like, if you say thanks, I got this. No thanks. Honestly, if it was me and you, and we were talking one on one, and I'm like, let me tell you what I know about this from my experience, and you said no, that's okay. I want to do this on my own. I got it. I would probably just stop. I mean, I probably would push it. But if it's part of a larger conversation, I might push it because you're not the only audience. Other people might want to hear what I have to say or might benefit from what I have to say, even if it's not you. Even if I'm talking about it, something you specifically brought up, I might want to continue to share for the benefit of people other than you. Well, you are in an unsafe space, but um, we can do serious. I like to cut up and play and laugh. I love to laugh. But if people want a serious conversation, I can usually accommodate. You just have to let me know. Like you have to really make it stick in my brain that this is a very serious topic. I don't want to play around with it. I want to get serious about this. Can we do that? And I will try my very best. And I can usually pull it off. Yeah, and I've done. Oh, I was supposed to post the link. I've done some streams on conflict too, and I grow through conflict. If I can fight it out with somebody, I might be even more bonded with them when it's over than I was if we had not had the fight. So some of it is a learning curve for me, and that's part of the learning curve. I know a lot about people and a lot about how much I can trust them or not by how they fight. And sometimes I need one or two good fights with them to solidify that bond and that trust to get the information that I need to know how much I can trust them or not. So what can look like a fight to the outside world sometimes has a very constructive purpose for the two people involved. That's what these are again I go back to we're adults. So if two people want to work it out through conflict and they're not violating the guy if it's not malicious that's really the guidelines here are very loose and malice is one of them. If something appears to be malicious or vicious or sadistic or cruel and designed to hurt and cause pain and nothing else, there's no other purpose to it. I will often move to shut that kind of stuff down. But a lot of times, people just clawing and scratching at each other is part of a larger attempt to work out something between them as adults. And that kind of stuff, I'm likely to just kind of see where it goes. And if it gets too much out of balance, then I'll shut it down. And the other thing, and I brought this up yesterday, is I'm here to get to know people. And whether I find advice or their opinion on a topic personally helpful, it gives me information about them. So that's another reason I want this to be kind of an open atmosphere where advice is people feel free to offer that kind of advice because they're also offering information about themselves in the process. And as part of my mission to get to know the person, I want to hear what kind of advice that they give to people because it helps me fill in the picture of who they are. Who doesn't like you, Apocalypse? I don't I haven't seen anybody on here not like you. Like Nero Jack. Nero Jack's having drama with everybody lately. You're not the first person to come here and complain about Nero Jack. Here we have untrackable. Well, there you are. What's on your head? What happened? Oh, that's your
Oh
band.
no,
Never mind. It looks like a band-aid.
it's a hat under a hoodie. It
Oh,
is what it is. It
how was
warmed
it
up a
going?
bit.
How's your day?
Very slow at work,
Oh,
but
is that good,
um,
or do you
you
like
know,
it busy?
it's questionable because when you do your thing and it's busy in your thing, um, you know, you get your money that way. But when it's not busy in your thing, it's like you gotta meander around and find something to do
Oh
for
yeah, I
several
hate that.
hours. And it's like, okay, well, this isn't my job, but I'll do it. And then you just wind up cleaning up after people that don't clean up after themselves or filling in spaces where people didn't show up to work. And, you know, we all have our moments, but, that's how my day went. And it was
Oh,
okay. It was fair. I will say that it was fair.
does that happen often? Days like that,
No,
or are
I
they?
wouldn't say I wouldn't say that it happens often, but you know, sometimes people decide to go and do something else with their lives, so you lose a person.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and sometimes people take things for granted, and then they get fired, and then you lose a person. So there's always a hole to fill. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean on both accounts.
Yeah. And when
Yeah.
you've been working in a place for damn near 10 years, to think that I haven't done almost everything and can fill that spot. But, sometimes you're like, hey, I did my thing. I want to go home. And sometimes it's, hey, we really need somebody that, knows what they're doing rather than taking the new guy and teaching him something. You know what I mean?
Does that
Which
make you
it's
feel
not.
good that they value you enough to use you for your expertise?
It's kind of a two-sided feel good because yes, it feels good that they look at me as if I'm needed, but at the same time, it's more beneficial for me to not just run out the door because I finished my work. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's that thing like it's kind of a joke in a way, but at the same time, we say to each other, "Hey, I get paid by the hour, so." If I want to leave, yeah, good job on me for doing my work and getting the hell on out. But at the same time, if I can actually be pointed to something rather than being um, have to go find something to do, um, it's a good feeling because it's like, okay, yeah, I finished and I just wanted to go home, but I got this very structured thing that I can go do for these 3 or 4 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't like busy work either.
Yeah. It can be kind of a mind screwy thing to change from this format to another, but at the same time, when you take a solid break and you accept it, it's like, okay, it's almost like starting another day within a day, if you will.
Yeah, and you probably don't know ahead of time when you go in. It just you get surprised that day.
Oh yeah. I know what I'm showing up to for, as why I was hired and what I do. But you know, if they only have 4 hours of work for me to do in my realm, um, that's not a full day's work. That's a lot of hours being lost should I leave. But should they put me in some place that I feel comfortable continuing on, you know, I drink some caffeine, smoke a couple cigarettes, and then I go and do the other thing that I do know that I can handle. And I just, the personal acceptance, because I do get anxiety about change.
Oh,
Like, going from this system to that system, work wise, it's really not that bad, but it's that brain change.
yep.
And sometimes it gives me anxiety because I, like you said, you didn't know about it from the beginning. And having that planning of, hey, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to knock it out, and then I'm going to go home, no matter what it is. But you go, you knock out what, was expected of you, and then it wasn't enough to fulfill a full workday. And they're like, hey, go do this. And, it does mess with me sometimes.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I have some of that too. Especially if somebody sets expectations, it gets locked into my brain, and I don't always have the cognitive flexibility to switch to something else. It's like trying to turn a barge or an ocean liner around. It's very slow and painstaking for me to shift if I'm locked into a set of expectations that I got my mind ready for.
Yeah. And it honestly, the anxiety and stuff, that's a me thing. I'm not saying it doesn't exist for others, but in that situation, my boss could say anything, and he's just trying to get a hole filled. And he may not have so much anxiety about telling me to do X, Y, and Z.
Mm.
But for me to change my brain from what I showed up for in the morning to um, filling somebody else's hole, um, that's kind of because different jobs require different speeds, they require different productivity, they require different mentalities, and to change from full blast, high speed, high productivity, high importance, a lot of pressure, to almost no pressure, um, and no productivity standards. It's just making sure that these things get moved. It's like, yeah, well, you go from being a race car driver to rearranging things in a parking lot kind of thing.
Do you prefer the pressure or the high speed?
I I feel like I can handle it 100%. Um, but it's not even a pressure a preference of pressure. It's the the understanding of expectations from the get go, and you know, so when I go in and I know I'm going into a high pressure situation because that's what they hired me to do, but then they want me to do this thing that's a very low pressure situation. It's like, well, why can't I just go home?
Oh yeah. But then you miss out that money, like that's hours that you don't get paid
Exactly,
for.
exactly. And you know, even though we say sometimes, I get paid by the hour, it's all good. At the same time, my time, if I get it to myself, or spend it doing what I deem necessary in my personal life, that's when time becomes priceless. And yeah, I get paid by the hour when I'm here, but you cannot put a price on my objectives once I leave here.
Yeah.
And I have to weigh that sometimes. And but the change of pace really creates an issue in my head, which, so many times it's like, yeah, it's no big deal, but sometimes I really, really just want to leave
Oh.
because I did what I was supposed to do and I have stuff that is weighing on my mind. Like it takes me sometimes days um, to pay a bill, even though all I got to do is hit some numbers on my phone app and pay that bill. But it just weighs on me. It's like, yeah, I've got the money, I can pay the bill, but actually going through the motions in a peaceful moment where I can accept that that's what my goal is.
Is it like procrastination?
As far as the bill paying, yes.
Uh,
But if I feel the weight coming down from feeling needed in other places, whether it's my relationship or my job, um, I just want to have a safe time to sit down and have nobody tugging at me except
mhm.
for me sitting there and doing my thing, and that is paying that bill. You know what I mean?
Do you have it arranged? Like, are you able to carve that out when you need it?
You mean like auto pay?
No, like that time for yourself with away from
Yeah, and there's
obligation and people pulling at you.
yeah, and there's plenty of times where I have too much time maybe, and I have the resources to handle it. But then that's where maybe like what you said about the procrastination is like, I've got this buffer, why not use it? But then, you know, I put that pressure on myself and I wind up paying at the last minute.
Hmm. Yeah, I do the same thing. I don't all the fun stuff, all the stuff that's not fun, I put off, and the fun stuff is what I do when I have free time
Yeah.
until I absolutely have to. But it's always worked for me. Even in school, I did all my homework at the last minute. I turned in all my papers at the last minute. That's I don't. That's when I work my best. When I absolutely have to get something done, that's when it's gonna get done. But it's gonna get done well.
Yeah, I didn't do too well in school after high school, but in the labor world, um, I'm one of those guys. I guess you don't have to ask me twice. You don't
Yeah.
have to, you know, you don't have to think that I'm gonna do something that is unsafe or gonna destroy some shit. Um, I I feel like sometimes I feel like a fighter pilot in my job, and
Oh,
sometimes people look at me like I don't know how much you understand military, but people look at fighter pilots like they are gods. But if they don't do everything right, um, they just fall from the sky. You know what I mean?
Like Icarus. It's Top Gun was fighter pilots, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Hey, Kane.
you gotta trust the people around you, and and you also have to look out for them too. So you know, if you want the person that's riveting your jet to do a good job, you have to, kind of reinforce, their um, what do you call it? Their confidence, and be like, hey, I trust what you're doing. Because if you're too critical on them, or if you're too lackadaisical on them, are they going to make sure that that plane is actually flyable? And when it fails, um, which they do, you know, do you come back and put your thumb down on um, that section that was, responsible for that piece of plane, whether it be the engines or the rivets or the glass or the bombs themselves, or do you be like, hey, I understand, like,
Are you
it's
critical
too.
when you need to be? Like, because there's false confidence too. If they're doing a shitty job, I don't want them thinking that they're doing okay. I want to be able to tell them what needs to be done differently.
Oh yeah, I understand. Um, and there are many times when I'm more of the, what do you call it, the passive aggressive, where I won't say anything.
Oh,
I'll just have a look on my face, or I'll eat the failure myself. But I'm not a fighter pilot, you know what I mean?
oh.
So when those things happen, I'm like, hey, maybe we all need to get together and have a conversation after the fact,
I'd be
because
like,
it's
why? Was he's the one that messed up? Why do I get together? Why do I have to have a conversation for something? It's obvious he did.
and no, that makes sense. But again, if I'm the one that let it slide, and then that makes me look bad, um, I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, this person's the problem like that. I said, we do like an after action review, and then we can all talk together, rather than me just talking to one person and pointing a finger at somebody that's not there. You know what I mean?
Oh God. I'm the opposite, and I want someone to tell me that I'm doing it bad. I don't want someone to have me thinking I'm doing good when I'm not. I want them to come and tell me you're not doing that right. But I'd rather them do it one on one than bring a whole group into it when it's just me.
Oh, trust me, I've 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 been eating failures my most of my, adult life, and so many of them have been my own. But when you have a team and your teammate is stepping on your toes, you kind of have a choice. You can scream at them and say, "Get off my toes,"
Yeah.
or you can, take it into, after the loss, you can take it into the coach's office with those who were involved, and be like, "Hey, this is what happened to me. You can have your stance on it as well," because some people will even defend themselves failing in the team environment. They'll be like, "Oh, well, no, I did what I was supposed to do." It's like, well, the videotape shows differently.
Yeah, oh God, yes, I don't want to, you bringing up some stuff that I've struggled with before too, with the whole team. If there's only one person stepping on my toe, I can handle it with that one person. I can tell that person to get off my toe. I don't need anybody. I don't need a supervisor involved. I don't need a team involved. But there's some places that want you to handle it that way. They don't want you to work it out one on one with the person stepping on your toe. They want the whole chain of command involved. And I'm like, no, I'm a grown up. They're a grown up. Grown ups can work out having their toes stepped on between each other.
Yeah, I've had a moment recently. It's like about a month ago, I guess, and we're doing our productivity thing, but it's a two-man team, and one person, is running the specialized machine that picks things up and puts them down, and the other person supports them by giving them things to pick up and put down. And this person was a substitute, somebody that wants to know everything in the building, and so they wound up here learning this. And man, I suffered all day not saying anything.
Were you
You
the
know,
he was the hander, the one handing the stuff?
yes. And man, we were so close to done, and we were so far past time. Which again, get paid by the hour, don't really care, but at the same time, this shouldn't take this long type of deal. And when we were so close to done, I noticed that he was playing on his phone, and he was every time he would take something that was finished off, he would stop and chit chat with people. And you know, I I've been doing this damn near 10 years. If you can hustle for 2 hours, every 2 hours you can get a 15-minute break, if not more. And we got no breaks. And in 9 hours, we got no breaks.
What? That doesn't even sound legal.
And you can go to the bathroom, whatever, but no real chill time where you can just kind of reset. There's there was no lunch, there was no nothing. Again, it's a two-man team, so if you're behind, and I always put the mission first, which I'm okay with because I don't eat during the day. And maybe that's something that, a lot of people don't align with, whatever. But we had like 30 minutes worth of work left to do, honestly. And he was chit-chatting and pulling up his phone and not doing what I needed him to do so I could do my thing on the specialized piece of equipment. And he pulled up and we got close because, that's how it kind of goes. You meet each other every once in a while. I said, hey, man, I just need you to focus. We are almost done. And his response was, oh, I'm focused. And then he went to go drop something off and he never came back. He went to go take his lunch because his schedule, honestly, is different than mine. Whereas mine is like work until the work is completed. And then that's when I usually find myself on easy days finding something else to do. But we were so over time, and, there were no breaks. There were really no breaks. And so when I asked him to focus, because we got 30 minutes of work if you can just focus, he said, I'm focused, and he disappeared. And the lead took over for him, and it didn't take us 15 minutes because the lead knows what's going on over there. He's a lead. It's not his job. He's supposed to be leading all the departments, visually making sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. But this guy was so cocky that, one, he failed all day, and two, The moment I called him out and said, "Hey, I just need you to focus. We're almost done." You know, AKA stay off your phone and don't go chit-chatting because we had already
That's
worked ourselves.
reasonable to expect from a teammate, I think.
Yeah, we had already worked ourselves into the second shift, which is way beyond.
From his
Like
playing around.
even for a newbie, even for a newbie, I can accept certain types of failures, but there are certain failures that are 100% not systematic failures, like learning the product lineup and stuff like that, the equipment. But when you just straight up play on your phone and want to chit chat with people, those aren't systematic failures. Those are personal
Mm,
failures.
I
And
think so
all I
too.
said was, I need you to focus. We're almost done. And he fucking disappeared. He went and took a lunch. A lunch at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, I granted, I understand that, you're not used to this and you're not like me. But had you stayed off of your phone and stayed out of the personal conversations, bro, you could have had 4 breaks where you could have done whatever the hell you wanted to do for at least 15 minutes. But you decided to do that shit all day. And the moment I called you out, you fucking disappeared and had somebody else
You
finish it.
told him this?
No, I didn't
Oh.
tell him, like I'm telling you now, but I did tell him, hey, I just need you to focus. We're almost done. His response was, I am focused. And then he didn't come back.
Was that the only day you had to work with him?
It's the only day so far. I think I
Oh.
may have to work with him this coming Saturday.
Ooh.
I don't have anything against him as a person, but work ethic, like if I
Yeah.
were to run my own business, there are certain people that I work with that they would be no question. Like, hey, you know, you see the all-star team, and I don't necessarily even consider myself an all-star, but if I were going to run something, there's at least a handful of people that I could name straight off the bat that'd be like, hey, you have no questions. You could work for me no matter what it is. I could train you to do it if I know what I'm doing. But then there's people where it's like, hey, you doing what the way you're doing, all they got to do is examine the cameras and you could lose your job tomorrow. And if I was running my own thing, I'd be like, no, I've worked with you before. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not even going to
Yeah.
give you a shot.
Well, sometimes I wonder how people keep the jobs they have with some of the work ethics I see.
Yeah. And it can be tough. It can be very tough.
Hey, Ricardo, it's tired. I mean, you're tired and it's late. We get a lot of UK people at this time. I see African in the crowd. We had the drunk Brits yesterday on site. One, oh. Are you saying that you're on site right now? Are you talking about when somebody's on site? Yeah, if I'm working with somebody and I need them to do work at a certain level so we can get the job done, I have no problem telling them that. I don't play right. And I would want the same from them. If I'm slacking and it's messing up what they're trying to do, I would want to know that too, so that I could adjust. Because I'm a team player, believe it or not.
Yeah. And again, like I said, it can be tough because in my military, like I went through an academy to be a leader,
Hmm.
but coming out of that academy, they didn't separate me from the people that I would had grown up with in such environment. So I went from being their buddy to being their boss. And that's a very tough thing to do. And when you tell somebody what to do, coming from that situation and they decide to backtalk, uh, but people wound up crying. And it was my words telling them to do their jobs, and um my leadership that was probably more than willing to make me cry, backed me up. But now that created this barrier, and it didn't create a barrier of comfortability as being around these people that I considered you know my grown up buddies that just now work under me. It created a barrier of they don't trust me anymore because they think I'm going to throw them under the bus. But all I did was try to get them to do their jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a very
Which,
tough situation.
to me, they like a person that's there to do the job and be a team player and help you out and follow your leadership is not going to act that way. So the fact that they're even taking it that way makes me wonder what their involvement is to begin with. Like, what is their purpose for being there if it's not to help you get the job done? Hey, African, what's
Yeah,
up?
welcome.
Hey,
I'll make it simple. I'll explain the situation that it turned out to be was like I was a cook and I wound up becoming a corporal, and I was in charge of food service operations in this field site. Well, one of the other guys that was not in our section, we were doing shower runs, and he went on the shower run, not a cook.
no, man, no, untakeable. You know what happened to me? They were flooded. Okay, all the chickens were like, sort of like, like, take that, man. And we were like, no, we can cook it. They were like, no, everything was flooded.
Chickens were
All the
flooded.
all
Wait, I
the
want to hear.
all
I
the
want to
food
let
was
him finish
flooded.
his story,
Yeah.
please.
Look. Basically, we weren't even allowed to take the chickens. We had to hunt
What are
animals.
you talking about?
Oh, we had this weird flood that happened while we were training in Africa, and the chefs were not allowed to give us the food that was flooded because the
It fl-
basically the fridges failed. So
okay.
even though we could have said that, nah, that looks good, we weren't allowed to take it with us.
It
So
flooded the
we, like
chickens.
literally, no, we lived on like ration packs. So that made us go like, fuck ration packs. We're out there in Africa. We started hunting. You know?
Chickens. Hunted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
hunted chickens in Africa.
No, we
Well,
were hunting deer.
Trackable. What is a shower run? First of all,
Chickens in Africa. And deer. Deer, no chickens. But nevertheless, I get you, man, here, undistractable. If you are, you can't sell that.
well, go.
Uh,
Just talk over him. Go ahead. Trackable.
so,
Yeah,
What you were talking about the shower run, but I'm not sure what that is.
it's when they put you out in this situation. It is the West Texas desert, and you don't get a shower unless you get on the truck and go back to base and you take a shower.
Oh,
And for the most part, it was like once a week. Um, it doesn't mean that you can't find hasty ways to clean yourself on the spot,
oh,
you know, wet wipes and stuff like that. But to take a shower, They would put you on a truck and take you to a place. It was either a facility out in the field or it was all the way back to base. And this dude got on that truck, went back to base, and did not take a shower. So his punishment was that he was going to be forced to take a shower, and we were going to put up. They put up a tarp, uh, and they were going to force him to take a shower. Well, they needed hot water. Well, where does the water being hot come from? It comes from the dining facility. And so when I told my people to make hot water, they said, well, no, he should have took a shower. And I said, that's not what First Sergeant said. First Sergeant said he wants 5 gallons of hot water. They gave pushback and yada, yada, yada. I wound up, doing my thing. And that was I made the hot water and gave it to him. I damn near boiled the guy to death. But, he survived. But, he went on a shower run and didn't take a shower. So,
So what,
it is,
was it because he was stinky? Is it because he was dirty?
everybody's thinking, but you don't go on a shower run and not take a fucking shower.
I mean,
So, and
but,
ultimately, I was requested to provide hot water. I didn't have to wash this dude's ass. It wasn't on me to punish him. It was none of that. They requested hot water. I told my guys to make hot water, and they started going down this whole road of, well, it's not our fault, and this is what it's for, and blah 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 blah. So after I gave them the hot water, and they basically forced this dude to take a shower in the middle of the fucking desert, um, none of that matters. What matters is I got approached and said, "Hey, what's the problem over here?" I said, "Hey, I told them to boil water, and they refused." And it's like, then next thing you know, we're standing in front of leadership, and I was a corporal, and they're privates, and they both of them broke down crying, be like, "Hey," it's like, "Hey, we didn't feel like we needed to do that. That wasn't part of our subscription of making meals." And it was
But
like,
you
"Yeah,
were
but
above, like they were supposed to follow your authority,
yeah, yeah."
and they,
I
yeah, they
said
didn't.
make hot water,
I
but
would
they
have just
wanted to
made
get
the hot
political.
water.
But they wanted to get political about it and said, "Oh, well, this is why they need hot water." And I was like, "It
hang
doesn't
on,
matter. We
hang
are
on.
in charge
Oh,
of hot water out here.
jeez.
We are in charge of clean water. We are in charge of hot water. We are in charge of food. We are in charge of sustenance."
I know you are. Yeah, yeah. I know exactly where you're coming from, man. Brother, I know. Like, literally, Jeff, believe me, when you go to those planes on the land that are far away from your comfort zones and you're in you're in your little. What is it that America is great at? Is that the first Americans had to make.
What a question.
You know, well, they had to make like a
Fries.
fortitude. They had to make fortitude, right? Because you had to go there, and then you had to make a little port, and then like yeah, and then if you made another season, you're good. You know, it's true though, isn't it?
I
I
don't
mean,
know. I don't know. I don't know what you said.
well,
What kind of
when
stew?
it comes to like America, the American Revolution, the American everything, is that the white man went to fucking America and they had to like no matter what like take his gamble, right?
I don't
Many
know.
people died from that over and over again. They just died and died again. The best ones were actually the working class, not the gentry. The gentry thought they could do it, but they didn't. They weren't able to. A lot of Irish and people from the north. But nevertheless, I know what you mean, man. This
Well,
ain't
untrackable.
boiling.
If you came to me and said, "Give me some hot water," I would have just gotten you the hot water. It's not
Can't
that
make it.
outrageous of a request.
Do you know how much hot water you have to make? If you don't know how to make, are you making it with what, man? What were you making it with, untrackable? You're making the hot water with what? What was the mechanism
Well,
you're making the hot water with? Was a
I
kettle?
mean, we had a potable water trailer. They call it a buffalo, and put it in a pot, make it hot, and then put it in a 5 gallon jug. That's the only thing that was requested.
Yeah, easy. I can't imagine pushing back on something like that. There was something going on with those people.
And
But
these are the people that were my um, basically my siblings during this time until I went to the academy and gained rank. And as
hmm
soon as I said, "Hey, yes, this is outside of making meals," but first sergeant said he wants 5 gallons of hot water, and that's when they wanted to get all political about the shit and be like, "Hey, blah 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 blah. No, I'm not doing that. That's." And you know, so I made the hot water, and I had to respond why it took so long, and it was, I told these two soldiers to make hot water, which we have diesel fueled heaters that are awesome at making things hot, and it doesn't take much time at all. And they just refuse to make the water hot. I mean, we use hot water for almost everything we cook. There's boil in the boil eggs boiled in a
Yeah,
bag.
yeah, I know. It's like 95 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius, right? That boiled water. When you do that, it takes a lot of energy to do that to the biggest form. That's why I'm like, oh, holy shit! You, America knows that. So, nevertheless, you were told to do it. You get it done.
yeah, and
It,
they
it
started
was
playing
it was
game. It's like a psychological thing where y'all were all equal at one point in friends, and now you had authority, and they were resisting that and kind of testing their own power in the process to see how much they were still equal. You're brave.
That feels like today, doesn't it? The way that the Americans are telling like the Europeans, this is the deal here happening with Russia, right?
You talking about Ukraine?
Yeah,
yeah, I read.
yeah,
I don't. I read some. I looked
mad
at something
man.
about that, but I don't know the full story.
Just America's telling like Europe, like this is the deal.
Oh,
Europe is like going, oh no, we can handle that. So it's
well, but
splitting
nobody
down.
appointed America
Now, of
over
course,
Europe.
no, but America funded like like at least like 300 billion, and
So
Trump's
because we're paying, like we're
oh,
pulling the
dude, yeah,
strings,
exactly, yeah, exactly.
then we get to tell them. Well, I
Yeah,
get like
basically, yeah,
money.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
All we
Amen.
can do is just stop paying. So the only
Yeah,
incentive to get for
it
them to
won't be
listen
about
to
stop
us.
paying. No, no, it'll be about like stop doing. Like where you guys can't. And even Europe has said to them, okay, can we have some concessions? And Trump is saying, yeah, okay, well, yeah, we'll deal with that. And you
That's
see,
what he said. We'll deal with it.
yeah, the way it was with Russia as well, the way that they don't like it because Russia's already taken these areas, like Donetsk, and you they've really taken them. They're theirs, and they're not going to contest to that. The contesting is probably going to be about the way that won't be NATO, but the European governance will just dot up on the stand. So yeah, it's us to look after. That's sad, isn't it? Kids, the way that money is. Damn,
What's
wars.
well, it's just people when they want money, they tend to do what the person giving them the money Ask them then.
Yeah, yeah, buddy. But
But I don't
now
know if
we
that's
have.
sad.
Well, it is sad. I mean, we got what's the one Doge, so can't wait to Doge it.
Yeah. I don't know much. I see a few headlines here and there of Elon and what Doge is up to, but I don't know too much going on. I don't think anybody does right now. They're in there kind of experimenting. So Lou had some questions. Untrackable.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not sure what they are, but ask away, Lou. Did anything happen to those guys? Did they get disciplined? The
I
ones that
mean,
didn't give you the water?
no, the discipline was, I guess, the stern talking to by honestly a second lieutenant that didn't need to be in the room and the first sergeant.
Oh, okay.
So it was enlisted personnel issues, and honestly, that lieutenant did not need to be there, and he didn't need to say anything at all, even if he was in the room. Um, so yeah, as far as punishment, it was just the stern talking to. But I even I would say, that lieutenant can go fuck himself straight to
What
hell.
you didn't? He was. I saw he was on your side, like helping
No, no,
you.
no, no. But sir, you're still in good stead, right? You were never charged with anything, right? There's no
Yeah,
charge to you. None, none at all. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he's yeah. He
there
saw.
was no official
Yeah.
punishment. It was just a stern talking to that this person is in charge of this section,
Well,
regardless of how you know him or um, my uprising, as you will. And I was still a nothing. I was still a nothing, not as a cook, but as far as rank. Like, I didn't have sergeant, I had corporal, which means I had power over the section, but I did not have, they weren't paying me for it. You know what I'm saying?
hey, you know it, sir. That's why you got to. Amen, man. I like it. I like it. A good man who understands the trajectory.
Okay, these are her questions.
So I was like in a place where some guy actually let go of a hand grenade. It was one of those like hand
Oh,
grenades. What can you say? It's practice grenade.
that they
Anyone with death, I believe.
done kitchen
No
duty,
one
then
got stacked.
work at the
African,
garage.
you drunk?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
It's my birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday! Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
happy
man, that's what I'm
birthday,
driving. Like off my base.
base.
Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
to
So
those.
Lou wants to know why they were so against boiling the water. Was it below them in their minds? Was it that they were done with kitchen duty and then given more work? And why didn't the guy take a shower in the first place?
I can't ask. I cannot answer why he didn't take a shower. Maybe he felt like his time back at base or wherever they went was utilized in a different way, which in some respects I can't blame him. Sometimes there's more important things than a shower. Um, as far as why they would not boil the water, were they done with kitchen duty? 100%. That is their fucking job, is to utilize that equipment to do what is requested of them. Uh, Even if it's midnight coffee. If somebody says, hey, we want coffee at midnight, you make sure there's coffee at midnight. I don't care if it's the talk. I don't care if it's the front line. I don't care if it's some dudes just hanging out on guard. You make hot coffee when it is requested of you, because that is exactly what our job was. So why they said no to making hot water, I will never be inside their brains. And why they would say no to me, maybe it was because of our history together, and maybe it was because of my lower rank than what we had before, which was a staff sergeant, which was 2 ranks above me. I can't say why they said no to it. It's turn the thing on, watch it until it bubbles, and then put it in a jar. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my God. I would
I,
just keep
So
doing it.
you're
So,
saying actually your job was supposed to be that, right? You're supposed
hey,
to.
if they had wanted hot water to melt
No,
the ice that
yeah.
encased the
Mm,
tires,
I get you. I hear
if they wanted hot water to, wash things, if they wanted hot water because, you know, for any reason, that is exactly what we do. And if you
you.
wake us up
You,
out of our
hey,
sleep, if you
untractable,
wake, if you,
untractable.
hey,
Have
hey,
you ever been
if you wake
untractable? Have
me
you
up
ever? No,
out of
no.
my
Listen.
sleep,
Untractable.
want
Listen to me. Nah, give me a space.
hot
Have
water,
you ever been a helmet warmer? Do you know what that is? A helmet warmer.
a
Where
helmet
you,
warmer.
yeah, where you take another guy gives you his helmet, wraps it around, and then it warms him, and then he just like, better. It's so
what's
cold. Like when you sleep in a bunk and then you get up, you gotta wear your helmet. It's so cold that the guy goes, you don't fucking pull that off so I know it's warm on your chin. Ah, bastard. Helmet warmer. So
how how
I've been like to that to officers. What it means to that, what I have to do, my job.
you
Uh,
seem
uh,
like you're having a good birthday. How what did you do?
Nothing, man. I mean, like,
No, just
chilling out, go cut a bed, cut, had
you
look
cut
good.
the oh, it is kind of trim. Let's see.
Kind of, man. You see it, man. Yeah. You know, man. It's
You
like
did it
that.
yourself or you have it cut?
Of course, I'm not doing it myself. Man. Do you
Some
think
people
so?
do.
Yeah.
So-
A new job. Okay, baby.
okay.
Every now and again.
All right, so you got a birthday chop.
Oh my god. No, I'm not gonna share. Loads of stuff. Presents galore. Also, it's only another day. God damn. Do you know there's like actually a 7 star reckoning that's happening now? Uh, if you look up, as in,
7-star reckoning?
yeah. So
Oh,
basically, there's 7 planets that are lining up, I believe. Check it out.
7 planets?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah,
Let's
and
see. Seven
yeah,
planets
I believe. Yeah, hey,
align.
here it is. Yeah, man.
Rare 7 planet parade. Everybody loves a parade. Happens this week. Here's how you can see it. You're right. February 28th, which is in 3 days. I think it's Friday. All 7 planets in our solar system will align in the night sky, creating a rare celestial event known as a planetary parade. Just in time for Mardi Gras. Wow. I have
Hey,
to do
man,
a
man.
special stream for
You
that.
know, man. See, fun time. I know, fun time.
Well, we'll have planetary. And also Friday, I'm doing a bonus episode in the morning with Trauma Type. He's launching a new channel. He's going to come on and talk about it. And then I'll do my regular show at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then maybe we'll do a planetary parade show in the evening.
That sounds fun.
Uh,
It makes us non flat earthers, by the way.
You're a flat earther?
No,
No,
of course not.
no. You're too smart for that.
Oh,
You're
yeah, I'm too
too
smart.
sensible for that. Let me
I'm round earth.
revise that. Oh, Trauma Type. Let me drop his channel. He
Shit.
He does personality typing and every now and then astrology reading. So. Oh, he looks like he changed it. That's right. He's relaunching as an astrology channel, so he'll talk about that on Friday. I think he has one episode where he tried to read Trump's chart, or is going to try to read Trump's chart. Yeah, I think African is fun loving. He's like a little fun loving gnome.
What? What you mean fun? No,
Fun loving. That you like to have
no.
fun.
Gebouter. You're gonna say David die Gebouter.
Huh?
David die Gebouter.
What is that? Darwin de Cabota.
It's David the gnome.
Oh, okay.
Uh, David die Gebouter. Because I'm a gnome. That's what I do, man. I stand out at people's places in their houses. I do gnome. Was it jump in their yards?
Gnome for
Yeah,
hire.
yeah, no, yeah. It's what's the ninja gnome? I mean, it's not my gnome.
Riding around on a red
Yeah,
fox.
I steal somebody's gnome and then I pretend to be that gnome on another garden.
Stop.
You can
David the
imagine it. Yeah, yeah. Let's do it, man. Do it,
yeah,
man.
that's good.
It is. It definitely is.
Is that the same wine that you were working on the other day?
What?
You had that wine from '82. Yeah, I like that hat.
Yeah, it's not a hat. No, the one's dead now.
Oh. To bringing it back to life.
Can't, man.
Did you
That's
make
why I
that?
said, like, you can
Did
do
you
the
paint it?
trick. These days, you can use something. How you gonna do it,
I
man?
like that hat. I could use it in a ritual.
How you can't?
Yeah, make a cool satanic hat.
Satanic. It ain't satanic.
Satanic gnome.
Oh, man. What's the matter with you, Jeff? It's satanic.
See,
What's the
you
matter
put it
with
on
you?
the head. That's the way to do it, really.
It's the gnome hat, man.
It's the
You're
side of the
right. I was
horns.
sitting there, the gnome. Okay, satanic gnome.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, no. It wasn't a gnome, but it's not a satanic gnome.
They used to have. Wasn't there that? There was the gnome book growing up. They had one on gnomes and one on fairies. It wasn't there a cartoon about the gnome family?
Oh god, I don't know.
I think so.
That'd be great fucking. That'd be a great fucking story, wouldn't it? Like the deadly gnomes.
They probably do have they have a one about a leprechaun, a horror movie. They
Yeah, but
probably do
then
have one about gnomes.
what's the other one? What they call it?
David the Gnome. Yeah, that's the world of David the
Then
Gnome. They have the complete series on YouTube, all 26
there we
episodes.
go, David Caboter. Yeah,
And he would ride a fox.
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, yeah. You ride a fox. That's kind of cool. You would.
Yeah.
Bob and Harvey Weinstein. Oh my God, that's those were the producers. Why did they look
Shit.
so much like Smurfs?
Hey,
Like,
sometimes you gotta appreciate the art, and the the artists can go straight to hell. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I had to learn to do that with picture pages. Tom Bosley is David the Gnome from Happy Days and the Glad trash bag commercials. Wow.
You said Bosley?
Yeah, remember Tom Bosley? He was the dad on
No,
Happy
I
Days.
just told the hair transplant guy.
Oh,
I don't trust him either.
Well, he was very wholesome. Like all those dads from back in the day were Andy Griffith, and then Ron Howard became a dad on some other show when he grew up, and Tom Bosley. What's the other one? Bob Newhart, Wilfred Brimley, a little bit. They all seem trustable.
Yeah, I grew up more with Family Matters and
Was
that
that
show The
Urkel?
Rock. Yeah, yeah, that was the one with Urkel where the dad was the cop.
Yeah.
But then there was another show called The Rock. I think it was called The Rock, and that was like their last name. And the dude was a garbage man, and he was doing the same thing. He was taking care of his family, but he would come home with these random pieces of trash and refurbish them, and that it saved them money, or they sold them. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's. I don't know if I heard of that one. It sounds like Sanford and Son. Was it Young Rock? No, that's
No,
about Dwayne Johnson. Um.
it might have just been called Rock,
Oh,
but
I think I do remember Rock. Rock. ROC. Yeah, Rock. I do remember Rock. He was popular. I think it was on Fox. Yeah, it came on Fox. Charles S. Dutton, Baltimore garbage collector.
yeah,
Yeah, I do remember Rock.
yeah. I was probably more of a Fox kid than anything else. I was never really Nickelodeon or any of that. Uh, Fox was where it was at for
Like
us.
Married with Children.
Oh yeah,
And was In Living Color Fox?
I think so. I could be
Yeah. I
wrong,
remember when
but I
Fox first
definitely
started. They had 21 Jump Street, The Tracy Ullman Show, Married with Children. It was like
the
a whole
Tracy
new
Ullman
channel
show.
that came out of nowhere with brand new shows we'd never seen before.
I swear the Tracy Ullman show was HBO,
It was Fox, and that's
um,
where The Simpsons got started.
but she really she really kind of touched me in a certain kind of way as well. Tracy,
Oh,
oh my God,
I didn't. I liked her music better than her comedy.
I liked her characters.
I think she was too British for me. Oh my God, Plasma! You can hear it. Yeah, it's getting really bad. It sounds like hair clippers. It's
Is it
starting
a
to sound like
fan
a
or
leaf blower.
is that your computer or is that a fan?
That's my laptop fan. It's the video fan. There's two
Okay.
fan. I looked at it. I watched the YouTube video the other day in case I want to try to fix it myself. And
I
there's two
want buying
fans, and
Jeff.
it's the fan in the corner.
Jeff, aren't we helping you buying a new, laptop, bro? How
Um,
much money do you need? Do you need Target? Make a Target.
I will need a new
How mu-
laptop
What
eventually,
do you mean?
but
Make it Target?
make a what?
A Target.
A
Like
what?
how
Target?
much?
Oh, like a goal?
Yes, of
Yeah, I
course.
haven't had much luck with those.
Oh, come on, man. How much money have I donated you, like, in the time I've known you? At least, like, $20. So, come
I
on.
mean, eventually I
Hmm.
will get a new
What do you
laptop, but
mean, no,
I'll buy.
eventually?
I'm a working man now. I'll be able to afford
I
shit.
get, so who cares? It's your, you know, make a Target, buy something.
There, I looked up. They have a guy near
Thanks.
me that repairs computer. He's like a computer geek, a one man computer repair geek, and his prices seem pretty reasonable.
What? So, what are you
And so I
running?
might try to get him to just fix the fan. That'll be easier.
Oh my god. No, you don't even know how to fix a fan, do you?
Well, I don't trust myself to do it is the problem.
Oh,
And I actually have a college degree in this stuff, and I don't trust myself
oh my
to
gosh.
do it.
What's the
I'm gonna
matter
fuck
with
it
you?
up somehow, and then I'm gonna only have myself to blame.
So, who knows?
They have to live with that.
Yeah. One thing is, dude, is you have something you're protected from, which is a backup, meaning get it out. If you're gonna get somebody else, so do it. Do you have a PC? Do you have
I have an external drive I could back it up to that I
no,
could.
no, do you have a PC? Do you have a rig?
Just the laptop.
Oh, okay. We got to get you a rig. So now we got to get
I don't.
a
People
just
don't.
a
I don't
rig.
think people even use rigs
Nah,
anymore.
man, we got to get a rig. Fuck off. Get a rig, bro. Build a
Lou, I
rig.
don't. I don't think it's running any hotter than normal. I think the fan is just
Nah, man, it's
going
gonna get
out.
a rig. It's never had a rig, man. Get a rig, man. You love it. It's cheap these days.
Rigs are cheaper
Yeah, man.
because nobody
Oh
uses them.
man, the back in my day, they were really
I mean, I
expensive.
wouldn't mind. I don't. It's not like I take my
There
laptop
we
anywhere.
go. So there we go, my bro. Let's go make a name for the rig. Just rig what 500 quid. 500 quid. How about that?
For a good rig.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, for
That's
you.
reasonable.
I
This
like
laptop was way more than that. It was. I
yeah.
got it. People told me to get a gaming laptop.
Oh, your screen and stuff. Laptop. I'm talking about just like a rig.
Yeah, I'll figure out something because I'm not gonna. You know me. I'm gonna have to stream, so it's gonna force me
No, you know,
into some
just
kind of
just
creative
make a
solution.
mark, dude.
Yeah,
Cool.
Plasma. When I restarted it the other day, it took me to this screen. It made a beeping, like an alarm beeping sound, and it took me to this like BIOS screen or something, and it said failing component detected, video fan. That's how I'm pretty sure it's the fan that's going out because the whatever the startup software actually gave me a warning that detected that it was going out. No, it is not backed up. It's kind of like untrackable paying the bill. It's a task that's very much on my list to do, and it's just me finding excuses and reasons to keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. Because I need to go find my external drive is in storage, so I got to go dig it out and find the cable and all that stuff. So it in my mind is way more of a it's way more onerous than it's probably gonna end up being when I actually try to do it. But I do need to get everything backed up, and then it won't be that big of a deal. Well, it went quiet. It comes and goes, and I started having to turn my laptop off at night because it's so loud I can't even sleep. I used to leave it running, and it would just hum quietly in the background. Yeah, it does quiet down from time to time. And when I first started up, it's silent. It's completely silent, and then all of a sudden it just starts going like 30 seconds into.
Jeff, all it needs is a clean, okay? All
Is
you
it
got
what?
to do is open it up, okay? Seriously, it's not that bad. If you don't trust anyone going into it, just open it up for where the vent is and the vent
Uh-huh.
out is and clean that out,
Just a
okay?
cleaning, like don't even
Yeah,
try
yeah,
to
yeah,
change it.
but if you don't trust people to, yeah, just
Yeah,
do it.
I could probably clean it. I
Yeah,
think I would trust myself to clean
yeah,
it, not
exactly. Yeah,
just
yeah,
not
yeah.
change it and wire it back in.
Yeah, you know what? No, just make sure when you pop it, like the way that some of there are, some of the, I don't know what model you're using. Just make sure, you get what I mean, don't you?
There's like 15 screws I have to take
Yeah,
off.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and just know which one's off, and then you go,
Yeah.
it's fine. Yeah, it's clean out. Probably that. It probably does. If it isn't any more than it's
I mean, I got it during lockdown, like right when lockdown started is when
4 years ago.
I got it. So it was, yeah, 5 years now. So
Oh,
it's probably
Dude,
coming up on the end of its life.
you guys had that phone call by Obama and stuff. Hello, I'm Obama. Tell me your name and what you do. I'm like, oh, fuck you, Obama. It's like, you're fired.
Oh, Bama.
You get me?
It Lou, it's the normal fan that normally runs. It's just louder. It got louder.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So I think it's running normally. It's just noisier when it runs.
Yeah, because it probably has like less, it's a lot of dust and
But it doesn't feel hot
Jeff's
or anything.
hair. It's got a lot of hair, Jeff.
Yeah, there's probably like crud
It's
built up.
good hair. It's
I
good.
don't ever clean my computers.
Exactly. You don't see it, man. Sorry.
Well,
Anyway,
well,
I know.
where should we go next?
I know. I know, bro.
What time is it over there? It's
Yeah,
got to be
people.
after midnight, huh?
Well, here.
Yeah,
Yeah, about one.
one. That's not a bad birthday evening.
No, not that bad. Ain't that bad at all. I'm just worried about what's happening now in Russia and America. Reckon America's gonna like low down on Russia because you guys are like talking about them like you need the money back. I agree with that.
What?
I reckon America has given so much money to this virtue with Russia, so I can see this like American deal going. Yeah, fuck it, we need our money. Yeah, so
Well, have we reached terminus?
It,
Or
it,
it's
it's it's
just a
it's tough.
temporary lull?
It's tough to think about how much. I mean, just imagine yourself as an investor and waiting for your return rather than just continuously dumping into, you know, businesses that fail. Um,
Yeah, I wouldn't do that as an investor. Unless maybe it was my own business. Then,
well, if it's yours, then you know you could even consider that some of that like sweat equity.
yeah.
But when you constantly budget your people's money into other people's problems and you get nothing but bad deals in return, um, it's like, okay, well, what are we doing here? Like, you know, I am not one to, you know, monger war, um, people's loss of lives, but at the same time, why would I protect you on the global stage, um, with all of my people still suffering in return? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I understand the arguments for it. It'd be interesting to see.
but Jeff, do you really understand that the money that they're saying, that what's going on here with Europe as well, because the way they're trying to instigate like a new global order, a world war,
Well,
one has to go.
if I take it that far, I think it's
Oh,
part of
yeah.
just this general effort to find out how our money's being spent.
Wow, you don't think so?
No, I'm not a conspiracist about.
I think
Damn, y'all can hear. I can't believe. Oh man, now I'm really self-conscious about it. Yeah, I'm not that. Humanity's too complex for this one little group to pull off some kind of global order. Like it's. I think that has all the hallmarks of a conspiracy theory to me.
I think that's why there's been
it's not a
a
conspiracy, is it? Sorry.
The what?
I think that's why there's been this nonstop threat of the superpowers of if you don't make the deals I want to make, that's when they pull out the nuclear threat.
Who's
And
doing
that's
that?
that. I mean, it's never really stopped, has it?
I thought it did. I grew up in the Cold War, and I thought we pretty much reached a stage where none of the countries want to blow up the world.
Yeah, but you still have what the weapons of mass destruction that really didn't exist in the Middle East. You have Iran. You have South Korea that keeps doing their tests upon tests. But then you have like actual superpowers like Russia that are close enough to do things, but rather than actually, you know, set the world on fire, they're just gonna attack the little guy until somebody makes a deal so that way they can justify not launching. You know what I mean? Because to think like America has always been, or the United States of America has always been like, hey, we need to come to, nuclear reduction. But do you think the United States of America is really going to reduce their
No, I don't think anyone is.
fire?
I think the goal is to just not fire the ones that we have.
What do you
And
mean to
so
find
far,
the ones
most
we have?
countries I think are
What?
not. I don't think anyone's in a rush to fire off weapons. Maybe North Korea if they get it, or Iran.
But it will always be this. Hey, if we can't make a deal, just know that we have such and such. You know what I'm saying?
Every time I see this, I wonder what country. I don't know if you're America, Diogenes, but I wonder what country you would prefer to live in.
I mean, I would definitely
At least
prefer
in
to.
America, so far, we're not arrested for our tweets. We don't have the cops coming to our house over our tweets like they do in other countries. And we can have our guns. No country. Okay, so you want a world that doesn't even exist. You're an idealist. You're gonna be miserable no matter where you are because you want perfection. You want more from humanity than it's capable of delivering at this stage, if ever, and more from human nature.
Yeah, and I don't. What's the word of the ideological society? Um, but what is it called when
Oh,
everybody gets
utopia?
a? Yeah, I definitely do not believe that that is a possible thing
No, that's
because
a utopia. It's. I want to say it's childish, but then even people like Plato.
So,
Um,
so we'd say that I don't believe in what predetermination, correct? That life is not predetermined to your health, to your life, to God, right?
would
well,
like.
Predetermination, that right?
Yeah,
Is
no,
what
I don't think it
that's
is.
it,
I
man.
think we. I think it's
Yeah,
self-determined. We determine it from moment to
no,
moment.
yeah, in numbers. I don't think we can ever understand that because of the numbers and records that we are. We're very lucky. Most of us are just, not lucky, just come on. The numbers that we are, we're like privileged to hell. You
Yeah,
know, the way of saying it.
I think we
You
are
know,
too. And I think
yeah,
this new generation has never been more prosperous.
yeah.
They've never known
That's
anything but prosperity.
yeah. Even in what horror my life is, okay, in my time, I still would say we're the best that has ever been given. And does that mean like where it was that we were always conquered down, or does that mean that we can't go over this next leap? As humanity on this earth, like they say with what's going on with like going to the moon, Mars, further afield, are we able to now like you know have everything? And, and we're part of that, brothers. Brothers, we are always going to be every every scumbag, every little dickhead that ever lived on every little monkey that you'd see, we're still part of that little piece that we are. So yeah, don't
I,
just
I,
be a
I
dick.
do I do agree that our lives as individuals, we are just tiny pieces. And
But it's all we have.
I would rather hope that somebody sees this interaction of our little tiny pieces um, than to not have the freedom to interact with each other, or to be punished for talking to each other so freely. So
So all the bad, all the good is all there. We go for it. None of it is, yeah, damn right. Yeah, let's go. Hopefully it works. Hopefully somewhere right now the world actually seeks that peace. And what the world is
But
going
I mean,
to,
we have
well,
peace
we
of a
can't.
sort. We
Here
haven't
we go,
destroyed
man.
ourselves yet.
Nah, man, you got Russia, America, you know, all the war, you know, America, Russia, and now you know, all
Yeah,
the,
but
you
it's
know,
like the
there's
world itself is
not
still.
peace. Yeah, but it also makes it seem so beautiful to be that point of record. I never thought about it. But you know, it was like there shall come a time where the world would be sort of on the precipice of death incarnate, okay? And then something will come and make it peace for 1,000 years. And this 1,000 years could be the start.
We've
Where,
always had wars. We're always gonna have wars.
yeah, but not nuclear.
But we
You
haven't had a
know,
nuclear war yet.
well, we had, and America has stopped it.
well,
Because America,
sometimes art isn't appreciated, and for 1,000 years after it was created. So the words that we say to each other today, um,
no, I'm a Christian, so I'm looking at it in terms of how it is in perpetuity with the old world to the one that
So,
falsifies the
because
new
you
one.
acknowledge other dimensions than just
I'm
the
trying to like,
physical.
yeah, because of where the Roman life that comes, and people go, oh fuck that, man, that's bullshit, man. It's okay, man, and they negate what it is to be free agents. Remember, as a free agent to you and me and everyone, that perpetuity was with the Christ's fucking, you know, calling. What was he saying? It was like, you guys know? You must know.
Huh?
The
Huh?
Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer. Our Father,
Our
who art
Father who art in heaven,
in heaven,
hallowed be thy
hallowed
name.
be thy name. Thy
Thy
kingdom, yeah,
kingdom come, thy will be
thy will
done
be done.
on earth
On earth
as it
as
is in
it is
heaven.
in heaven.
Give
Hallowed be
us this day our
this day
daily
our daily
bread.
bread.
Wait, and forgive. Wait, I missed something. Blessed. No, that's the Holy Mary.
Yeah.
Give
We
us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive
we
those who
to
trespass
against that.
against us. Lead us not into temptation,
Yeah.
but
And
deliver us
deliver
from evil. For
for
thine
thine
is the power, the kingdom, and the glory. Amen.
and that to me it is that when the devil or the aptitude comes, it takes that record and goes, this is the new one, without people knowing. It
Wait,
swaps
you
it.
said the devil switches the record?
Yeah, yeah, of
What?
course he
I
would.
like that. What? Which?
Well, because of the Christ record from Elohim to Yahweh, to where the Jews negated their kingdom. Because they
I, I, I,
rejected the Christ, and they.
we used to say that prayer at dinner,
Yeah?
but even my mom encouraged it. Growing up as a child of divorce, even my mom would encourage us, when that prayer was said, and love dad, because uh, you're praying to God. It's a written thing that kind of every Christian says, or and we were Catholic, but at the same time, adding that you love somebody that isn't there, but you still believe in them and you still respect where you came from. That was a very powerful moment in my childhood. I don't say those prayers anymore, but I love my father because I respect where I came from, and that was such a touching thing that I can look back on.
That your mom did.
It She very much encouraged us to say those words. She did not tell us to say those words, but it was like between the three of us, we would add that and love dad because we only got to see him 1 year. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Some people get to see their kid, or their parent uh, in a month or every other weekend, but 1 weekend a year.
one week
Looking
in a
back on
year.
it, looking back on it,
That's mad, man. That's
it's,
pretty
so,
hard, man.
it's absolutely crazy to me now.
Yeah.
But my father was a career military, and he lived in a different state, and so I got to see my father, if I was lucky, 1 weekend a year.
Oh wow.
But it didn't change. In fact, the love grew as I grew, and the time in between seeing him um, became less significant more than the time spent with him. You know what I mean?
Like quality over quantity.
Exactly.
But you had a good relationship with your dad. Like y'all, he was a decent father.
I
I
I
got
had I
I go ahead.
I had a lot of fathers in my time.
A
In my
lot of
time.
fathers.
Yeah, and like a lot of men that I got to grow up with because my father was also subsequently absent in my life, but not absent as well. You know, you know when it goes. My father was I guess, a workaholic.
Oh,
Yeah? So he was working for his bigger family. And I think like when I know my job, I remember mowing the lawn to cleaning the pools and draining them and getting, the pH level right and stuff.
oh.
Yeah, yeah. So, I had to, but it's also like I made money from that going around, you know. Yeah, that was the way it was in my life. Back in Africa, South Africa, all the apartheid failed. That's why I remember it like almost like the golden years of America, I would say. It was good, good times. I didn't see racism. Now everything is racist. And even
Well, cause
after,
they make it right.
yeah, exactly, I know that everyone wants to make it racist, but it's also prejudice, isn't it? A prejudice to that, and a racism to what? That's, yeah, terrible.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to say goodnight. Is always wonderful to see y'all. But I am going to say goodnight to y'all.
Untractable.
It's a pleasure as hanging out as usual. And
Jeff
have a
as well. I jumped in here as well. Just
have a
to
good
do it.
night and have a good day at work tomorrow. Hopefully.
For sleep.
All
Cool.
right, what's up, you?
What? But me. What? Nothing of me. I'm not into that, Jeff. And
I just
nothing's up.
asked you what's up, dude. I'm not into it with you either.
Good. I like
No
that.
offense, but
Cool, man. I'm offended by that too.
well, you
Yeah,
I mean
that's the.
somehow I feel like you'll wake up tomorrow and be just
It's like a
fine.
loop. Oh shit, man! It didn't say that. It's a loop bar. Let's see. Yeah. Go on, Jeff. What's up?
Nothing, not much.
Uh,
This work a full day of work and then I come home and I stream.
oh shit! No way.
In fact, sometimes I'll be at work and I'll be like, God, I can't wait to get home and
The stream.
get into the street, get on
Stream,
YouTube.
man.
It's
Oh.
this is my world away from the world.
uh, Jeff.
I
Yes,
live
man.
two lives now.
Yeah, you do, man. You,
One day the streams will cross, but I'm not quite ready for that yet.
you're the best, man. I could always tell she'd be like that. Yeah,
What you got? Is that Pellegrino
mm.
or Perrier? Water at least.
Yeah. Water, yes, yes,
Okay.
sir.
That
Why?
seems like a good
You're
idea.
welcome. Should I join it to you? You know, I'll call my man Elon Musk. Shoot at you.
I used to think I wanted to work for Elon or be involved with him, but the more I see him in action, I don't think I'd be the best employee
Okay.
for him. He's not gonna. He needs somebody that he needs like an Elon whisperer, and I thought I could be that. But the
Can't
more I
do
see him, I
that.
don't think I can. I don't think there's a role for me in his
Uh,
world.
oh, what?
I just thought like just both being Spurgs was just not enough.
That's weird, isn't it? The way he's done it with Doge. He's saying that they'll make it save almost $2 trillion a year.
He might be right. I mean, I watched
Yeah,
what he did with Twitter.
exactly. Yeah. So he's really just gonna bust balls down with
We'll see.
America. Funny. Be gone. Get some avenue, man. You should get in there.
I tried. I sent him my resume, and I hit him up on Twitter a few times,
Joking.
but he
Did you?
didn't. No, he didn't call. He didn't write.
No, you're right. He said no, fuck off. Ain't polite.
But now also he's having all these baby mamas all of a sudden come out of. He's been busier than we realized, and I
He's
don't
a
know if I
billionaire.
necessarily respect that either.
A billionaire, bro.
But he's still a human.
Gonna get the billions of babies out there.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Did you like that? Mother Mo?
Plus, he names them weird names. So
Does
it's
he?
I don't know. I just
XTLV times like whatever. What the fuck do you know about? Yeah, it's funny. You reckon he's just a plot?
no. I don't think he's a plot.
No, the plot. You
What
know. Well,
what
to
plot?
make what they say is the singularity of finance, is that everything is that we will become of numbered like cattle, right? That's the point. It's
We're
just,
well, we're already numbered. We get a at
uh,
least in America, we get a social security number
but
when we're born.
of course, but there's value of that they can't actually make true and valued off because that's
Do y'all
your
have that in the UK? Y'all have a number, like an
uh
ID number?
no. Well, we have I guess you're right. We do, yeah. We have a passport number, a social security number, I guess.
When you're born, you get it.
I don't think we're born to get it. No.
You get, and over here you get it at birth. It's assigned to you
A number.
when you're
Seriously.
born,
Okay. So you guys are way ahead
and
of
it
ours.
follows you the rest of your life everywhere.
Yeah, shit, man. Is that why we can't blackface?
Blackface?
Yeah, it
You
has
can
become like,
blackface.
you
You
know,
can't
like,
blackface over there?
so,
Oh.
well, that's why I'm plastic African, bro. I'm trying to blackface every
Yeah,
day.
if you can't blackface,
Oh, come on.
man.
That's really weird. I thought you could.
I wouldn't want a black face. Just I wouldn't want a white face either. I just the idea of having greasy makeup on my face of any
Really,
kind
never.
doesn't appeal to me. Even growing up, we had the Halloween makeup that you could draw like Frankenstein face and stuff. And I didn't even like that.
No, I was thinking about like deep, you know, when I had to, go undercover, you know, put that fucking makeup on. Makeup to me was like black, red.
Oh, 'cause the military, well, you
Yeah,
you d-
and,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's makeup.
the football players used to do that
Yeah,
too.
yeah, well, makeup. It doesn't matter what it is, it's what your position is. Yeah, what you doing.
I could
You,
see doing something like that. Maybe just some
yeah,
black
I
under the eye.
definitely, yeah,
But
cheers. I remember dropping like almost, I think it was like 8 foot, must be an 8 foot, something like that, into like a whole bunch of nettles. As it being nettles,
on
nettles.
purpose, they were dropping you, or
Basically, actually, it was just training. I
okay.
dropped in. I was like running, and I knew they were after me. I was like, "Ah, shit, I'm gonna get out of here." I just thought like, "Oh fuck, okay, this is where I can go." And I just dropped down. I swear to God, when I lay down there, like it's just like, "Oh God, this is so painful." And I remember like seeing light coming down above me. That's where game time. You're like, "Oh shit."
This
He
was at
probably
night.
Yeah, yeah. He probably gave that away because he knew how hard I got away from him. Like, he'd been like,
That
shit.
sounds fun, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. It wasn't really fun at all. Oh, man. Coming out of that, like, zone, actually knowing he was crawling down, it's fucking tearing me apart, man. Yeah. And I gotta get over here somewhere, like, running just to get in. It's, that's why he gave that away from me. I really did.
Is it still your birthday, or was that yesterday, or
Yes,
does it
man.
start today?
No, it's done.
It's
My
already
bad.
done. You're okay.
Sorry. Wow. Wow. Who's adding to my birthday? Yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that, Brown. Yes, it was something about the glare is why they did it. They also used to shave their legs, but I don't know if that was science or just a fad. Wow. Well, the African disappeared on me too.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking for a
Well,
second.
you're up to something. You put
No,
your
I'm not. I'm not up to something.
put
Jeez.
your avatar on.
I'm up to
No, the football player, they used to shave their legs and it looked ugly as hell. They'd all show up at school because they did it like whatever, like the
something.
alphas did, all the other ones would follow. And
Oh.
so like they'd all show up at school with shaved legs, and they also did this thing where they wore pink. They had like pink t-shirts, pink
They can get away.
shoelaces.
They can get away. Oh, it's a rugby
And it was
club.
like it was like a fad, and you could
So
watch
gay.
the fads cycle, and you could watch all the football players follow the latest fad. And one of them was shaving the legs, and one of them was pink. I remember those two.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't like guys with shaved legs. I
So
don't
you're,
like.
you're like Henry Leg.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be super hairy. It's just not smooth. Plus,
Okay.
when it grows out, it doesn't take long to grow out. It gets very prickly.
That's,
I shaved my legs one time just to see if, like, to compare, and I hated it.
oh, man.
Oh God, I hated it. I hated the act of shaving the legs. I hated how it felt afterwards. I hated when it grew back in. That's all it took.
Mhm.
Never again.
Give me that. I do too. I don't know why the bitch wanted me to shave my legs.
You shaved it for a girl?
Yeah,
What?
definitely. Yeah,
Oh,
this is terrible. Yeah,
yeah. I don't know why either. Did
and then of course they shaved it for a girl. I didn't shave it for a guy.
well, no. Sometimes you might have shaved it for yourself, just to, but you
Yeah,
would not have thought of but for her talking you into it.
yeah.
Are you one
Uh,
of these people that can't say no to a female? We talked about that the
I
other day a little
was a
bit.
young man, man.
Oh,
The last time and first
you
time
can
and
still
last
say
time.
no. I was.
But yeah, you're right.
No.
Do you know prickly heaters?
I grew up with women. I never had a problem saying no to them.
What?
We'd fight a
Oh,
lot, but didn't stop me from saying no.
oh, I don't know. You can't like bequeath a mother and beat her down. Uh, beat men down. You can't beat women down. So yeah, no, mum could say no. No, no, sorry, no, sorry, no.
Yeah. Is that cigarette green or brown?
Brown,
Oh,
green,
okay.
no, oh, green.
Green. Okay.
Mm, sorry, man. Why is that a problem? The brown, like a fucking digestive brown.
Well, no, like tobacco or.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Okay, so that's not a sports thing then. That was just some little fad that they started. Okay. I didn't think it was. I knew the black had some kind of purpose to it, but I didn't think the shaving of the legs did, nor the wearing of the pink.
It says you do both. Sorry. Oh, sorry, man.
What's on your screen behind you on your computer?
It's your face.
Oh, that's. Oh, is that you have it on two screens or is that a reflection?
It's a reflection, yeah.
Oh, okay. Your face too, I guess. Yeah, yikes.
You've never got that all this time.
They had one guy that he gamed. He was like in a game and you could put things on the TV inside of the game world and he found it he had a way of putting my stream on the TV inside of the game and he would show it to us. Ah, TM. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up here anyway. TML's live. Let
Oh,
me see who
yeah.
else is live. Um, sure enough, he is. Let's see. Lizzie's live. There's a lot of people live today. Sasquatch, Axis. Wow, the Paddleverse is hopping. Here, I'll drop TML's link. Y'all can check him out if you want. And I'm gonna go relax. Take care, Browns. There's TML. Y'all can check him out. Hey, African, if you're still looking for a panel, you should drop by and say hi to Machine Lies. He has an open panel.
All right. You drop me a link there.
Yeah, I just put it.
Oh,
Well, actually, that's the link to his channel, but it's once you go there, you can see the live thing.
all right.
In fact, I'm gonna
All
watch him a
right.
little bit. He plays a lot of what would you call it?
We,
Rap, modern rap, and it takes him a while to get started, but he goes all night. So
All right.
I'll send the party over there.
Ah, thank you.
All right. Well, it was fun hanging out, and we'll do it again. I'll be out tomorrow, same time. And happy birthday. Wait, he's only doing. No way. Machine's never done a 3-hour stream. What's up with that? Why is it only 3 hours? I don't believe that. I don't think it's gonna end up staying 3 hours. Oh, 'cause it's not his normal night. I see. Yeah. Well, good luck keeping it. Does he usually keep it at 3 hours? Okay. I might check it out. I might peep in on it. I haven't visited Machine in a while, so that's where I got my start at the Panelverse at least. That's the first Panelverse panel I went on and got in a fight with Toilet Bowl Earth. Okay, well, cool. Tell him I said hi. I might peep in. I'm gonna go get some food and relax, and then browse around the Panelverse. Perhaps there's not much on TV. Yeah, I might. What I got out of the habit of visiting other panels, and I don't really go anywhere other than my little stream. Um, but yeah, I need to get out more, do some visiting, make the rounds, fly around the Panelverse, see and be seen, all that stuff. That could be why my numbers are not growing. All right. Anyway, yeah. Tell follower of Lilith. Oh Lord. Like, is that like female Satanism? That's not that. There's a Satanist that on Neurojack's channel that he keeps trying to get me. That's not that guy, huh? What is it? Twilight something. Oh, I watched him. I don't know if we're gonna match. He's he's a little all over the place, but he's welcome to stop by here if he wants. All right, well, have fun on Machines, and I'll see everyone. Easy going. He seemed like a spaz when I this. Maybe we're not talking about the same person. He was spazzing out on Neurojack's. Neurojack was trying to hook us up. Take care. All right, that's it for me, y'all. I'll be out tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, um, and we'll do something, talk about something, have some guests up, something. Take care, everybody. Happy Tuesday. See you tomorrow. The Rock.